Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests joining us this morning.
Yes, sir.
From the Earn Your Leisure podcast, we have Rashad and Troy. Welcome, fellas.
What's going on?
What's up, family?
First, I want to say thank you guys for supporting and coming through to my car show in Atlanta. You guys had a pop-up. So as soon as you guys walked in, you would see all type of amazing cars, from pink Wraiths to blue Lambos to all types of things. So I want to say thank you guys for supporting it and sponsoring me, man. I really appreciate it.
Coachella was a vibe, man. Thank you for having us. And that was a really dope experience for me because I hadn't been to a car show in a very long time. So to be out there and to, catch the vibe, ran into Raekwon randomly.
That was, I didn't even see that. I'm like, where'd you get that picture?
That was dope.
Yeah.
And just so much love, man. We sold merch. We had, a lot of our friends brought cars out there. So
yeah, shout out to the Atlanta team.
Yeah.
Cars are depreciating assets, right?
Not right now.
Not right now? Really?
Not right now. Right now, if you know what you're doing, it's the best time to sell because cars are going 20, 30, 40,000 over sticker price. So if you have a car and you want to make money, this is the time to sell your car.
Yeah.
So it's a good investment now?
It can be, right? If you're not using it, you could put it on Toro and make an investment. It pays for itself, so it doesn't have to be.
What is that? Break that down. What is that?
Yeah. So,
Toro's like Airbnb for cars.
Okay.
So, it's very similar to you have a house or an apartment and you can Airbnb it out. So, Toro's the same thing. So, it really works well with, let's say you're living in a city where you might not be in, or it's like you might not need a car. The average person only uses a car for a couple hours a day, if you really think about it. So, you might have your car just sitting for 10 hours a day. So, you can Toro it out and have other people driving it. Wow. Yeah. So it's just like Airbnb for cars. So
it's crazy.
It's really dope.
Yeah.
I don't think it's legal in New York yet, right?
No, not in New York. But I've seen people and heard stories where it's like I drop my car at the train station. I go to work on the train. I'm there 10 hours a day. Somebody could pick up my car from the train, use it for the 10 hours that I'm at work.
Wow.
They'll be back at the train station by the time I get home. I drive it home. And now if I do that 3 times a month, I've already made the car payment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, y'all know how to make money off everything.
And then shout out to Credit Dude. He put me on to Swap-A-Lease. You know what Swap-A-Lease is?
What's that?
Yeah.
Swap-A-Lease is dope where it's like you can take over somebody's car payments or somebody's lease. So it's like, let's say somebody has a Wraith, right? And they put $50,000 down.
He had to go that high.
That's what I'm saying.
You could have went Toyota.
It's okay to act your wage, Rashad. Don't let them shame you. Act your wage, Rashad. Act your wage, Rashad.
A lot has changed.
Let's say they had like $1,200 a month for their car payment, but they fell into hard times. So now they need to get rid of that. So now you can take it over, but they might only pay for 2 months. So now technically, you get the car, you don't have to put the down payment. You just making it, and then now what you do, you put that on Toro. So now you actually making money on it.
Wow.
So the car game is crazy, man. It's a lot of ways to make money on a car. So that the days of saying the car is a depreciating asset is kind of over because now you can actually make money with a car if you do it correctly.
Wow. Now
let's talk about this Invest Fest that I see you guys announced a couple of a week ago.
Sir.
Now, Invest Fest. What is Invest Fest?
Invest Fest. So I always looked at all these different festivals, like Coachella. I said Coachella. Essence Fest, Rolling Loud. They just had Rolling Loud, South by Southwest, and I'm like, the festival's field is just so dope, right? Where it's like thousands of people come together. It's a community. But I'm like, there's nothing like that, from my knowledge, for business and finance. So I'm like, all right, well, we got a huge platform. Why don't we put together the first finance investing festival, Invest Fest. So Invest Fest is going to combine everything that we love, culture, but it's going to combine the elements that we become popular for as far as investing and entrepreneurship. So we got a dope lineup: Hill Harper, 19 Keys, Jim Jones, Fabulous, MG the Mortgage Guy, John Henry. Shout out to my boy Ian Dunlap, Wall Street Trapper, Ronnie Brown, Neo, who just added to the lineup. So we're going to have 200 small business vendors, kind of like Essence Fest, where it's like we're going to have a room with 200 small business vendors where you can sell anything that you want, merch, candles, all kinds of stuff like that. We're going to have 20 food trucks outside. And then we're going to have live podcasts. We're going to have fireside chats. We're going to have performances. So
don't forget the EYL truck.
The EYL truck will be there. So we really just wanted to just have a thing where it could be an annual event. It's going to be in Atlanta the last weekend of August, and it's going to be, God willing, an annual event that gets bigger and bigger every single year.
Yeah.
And just kind of be like a pilgrimage for anybody that's interested in investing or business. You can come there, you can network with thousands of people, and you can just get game. So that's something that we put together. It's the weekend of August 27th, and we're really, really excited about it.
I mean, so many times we've heard people, like, especially in the celebrity world or entertainment world, like, oh, they were an early investor in something, right? Whether it be Ring or it was Google. And we kind of sat there like, how come we've never been invited to these type of situations? And so rather than complain about it, we said, let's create one, right? So now we got commerce and culture blended together in one place, right? So if I have a startup company, this is a place for me, right? If I'm a VC and I'm looking for startups, this is the place for me. So now it's not like this invite-only society. We're bringing it for our culture, by us, for them.
That's what I love about it. I love the fact that y'all blending culture with financial literacy, because, you know, you can have a million music festivals.
Yeah.
Right,
you know
right,
what I
right.
mean? But what about some festivals that actually teach our people something? Let's make that fly. Let's make that fresh.
Yeah.
And they do have it. White people do this all the time, and I'm just happy that now we have our own.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean, it's the same thing else. Is they have these festivals and these events, and they get 10, 20, 30,000 people, and half the time what they're saying, they don't even know what they're talking about, or they're lying to our people. So I was really excited to see this, because now it's somebody who was in the business, that invest in the business, that has people that invest in the business, not just real estate, not just stocks and bonds, not just Toro, not just this, that, and the other, not just trucking, but you have a whole heap of people that's in one place. A lot of times people come and be like, you know what? I don't want to do stocks and bonds, so this might not be for me.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, well, that part is not for you,
Exactly.
but we have trucking. I don't want to do trucking. Well, we have vending. Well, I don't want to do vending. Well, we have real estate. I don't want to do real estate. And that's what I love about it. It's so many different angles where people can just learn, or you can do them all. Like, I try to do them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
So
the thing.
that's what I think.
That's
those-
what we really wanted to, like, that's what our podcast pretty much is, like a little bit of everything. So that's what we wanted to make InvestFest, like a smorgasbord. And we wanted to make it where it's not about us. That's why it's called InvestFest. It's not like EYL Fest. And we're going to do other things where it's just us, like live podcasts and stuff like that. But for this, we wanted to just take our name out of it and highlight other people and really give a platform. And it's like people has just been really receptive. Like, shout out to Jim Jones. We was in the studio with him and we was telling him about it. He's like, why am I not invited? Like, you know what I'm
yo,
saying?
add me
Like,
to the bill.
I need to be a part of this
Yeah,
Capo
yeah.
Coin. I need to talk about it. So I'm like, come on. So we've been getting a lot of that since we announced it. A bunch of people been hitting us up like, yo, I need to be a part of this. How can I get down? So,
Yeah.
you know, it's been dope.
What are going to be some of the other panels?
So we got a crypto panel. We got a real estate panel, stocks,
Venture capitalism,
venture capital.
international investing. We got mental wellness. We got investing for your kids. It's a lot. What else we got?
Music, culture,
culture and music
and
combined.
crypto.
Yep.
So yeah, we got pretty much like a lot of different things. That's all going to be.
How do y'all
blended
go
together.
through to see who's actually legit and who's not? Like, we have that problem sometimes, up here. You know, somebody comes up here and then they don't say the right thing, or that they're absolutely wrong. So how do y'all decide, well, this person really knows trucking, or this person really knows crypto, or this person really knows vending? Like, how do y'all?
A lot of stuff. So this year we actually, a lot of things that we did on the podcast previously, we actually starting businesses with. So like trucking, once again, shout out to Alex. We know he's legit because we actually have a truck.
Right.
And he held our hand through it. And it's been up and running for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
We have positive cash flow. It's ups and downs like anything, but we went through his portal, got the driver, got the CDL, got all of that
It's a whole
stuff,
process,
and now
yeah.
we up and running. And the truck is on the road. Shout out to everybody that's been seeing the truck. Our boy vending is Kashif. We
Shout out to vending
we're about
biz.
to put vending machines in our high school. So that's like the ultimate litmus test, right?
Yeah.
If you can actually do it. Shout out to Wall Street Trap and shout out to Ian. They both have taught us a lot about stocks, and we're in group chats, and we made money off of plays that they actually told us. Matt, we buy real estate with Matt. So, you know what I mean? We know, like...
Matt has saved a zillion and more people that listen to this Breakfast
fact.
Club
Yeah.
show
That's
all
a
the
fact.
time.
So that's my new thing, honestly, because it's like, there's always different things where it's like somebody might not be who they say, whatever. So my new thing is like, all right, let me run a play with you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I see for myself.
That's
Because
how-
at least I can co-sign you, if anybody.
That's the
Yeah.
motto. It was like I always say this. It's like, we're gonna give you the information. The application's on you, right? We'd be a fool not to actually apply the information we're getting to. It's like you said, everything that we have somebody come on, they give us information. It's like, all right, let's see if we can do this. And now that we have a resource in the person who taught it, it makes it a lot easier. All right, we're just gonna call you. All right, vending machine. Where should I be getting the vending machines from? Right? Where do I get the suppliers from? And he's giving that play to us directly, where we don't have to find it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a good a good play for both because now it's good marketing for them because they can say, okay, Earn Your Leisure made money by using my technique, and then also it's a revenue stream for us, but it also lets us know like, all right, this is something that can actually work in real life. So we plan on doing that with Airbnb.
Yep.
We plan on doing that with mobile homes because these are things that we already have relationships with these people. So it's like, why not make money with them also? So
that's crazy. As you're saying that, we actually turned the vending biz into 2 businesses. It was crazy. So we obviously knew that we needed to have somewhere to store the stuff, right? And we needed to travel with it. And so we were like, all right, well, how can we benefit from this? So we actually going to get a Sprinter. And now the Sprinter is going to carry all the supplies to the school, number one. But then number 2, we're going to wrap it, and it's going to turn to something on Turo where we can lease out the Sprinter.
Wow.
So the school's only going to be operating from 7:30 to 3. But people need the Sprinter at night, or they might need to take it to the airport. That's now you got 2 businesses operating from 1.
And it's like when you look at Earn Your Leisure too, we employ a lot of people, a lot of black people. So it's like for that vending machine business, it's like we don't have time to run vending machines, but our young boy, shout out to Abdullah.
Yes, sir. And Domini.
Yep. So these are young kids that went to the same high school as us, but they're a lot younger than us. So this is their opportunity to be business partners with us, and they're going to run the day-to-day operations. So we do that with a lot of businesses that we're in, where it's like we might not have time to actually run it, but we have other friends of ours that we grew up with, and so that's really group economics, and that's how we look at it. So all of these different businesses, there's at least like 5 to 10 people that's getting employed, that's making money, that's becoming entrepreneurs. So it's like a lot of times people are we so critical of each other, black people, for some reason, I don't know what. We so critical of each other, but we never peel back the layers. Like even going to Envy's car show, it's like, all right, Envy's got a car show, he made so much money, but look how many people was employed from being at that car show.
Allegedly made so much money. Allegedly.
No, I'm just saying that's how people might look at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like
those events create opportunities for everybody else.
Exactly. Even like InvestFest, there's hundreds of people that's going to from security to food to all of that. So we got to start looking at it like that. We always complain about we don't have jobs, but it's like these are opportunities where other people are benefiting from this, not just us, from the cameraman to the sound people to everybody.
Yeah, and the vendors too, right? They might potentially have opportunity to meet a future business partner or collaboration partner just from being there in the presence of a marketplace where there's hundreds of people, thousands of people seeing your product for the first time.
I don't want to do anything that can't empower other people. Like any business that I start, if I can't employ at least 10 people, I don't want to do it.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
You know, it's another big business that I realize, and I'm sure you guys will see too with InvestFest, is the people that set up those stages and sets up those signage and those stores. We need more of our people doing that because they make a lot of money doing it. And it was very difficult for me to find people that look like us that do those businesses, you know what I mean? But every time you look at any event at any convention center, there's people that lay the carpets down, that build those stores, that build the signs. Like, there need to be people that go into business just to do that.
And it's like, just even putting this together is a business within itself.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Putting together a festival, like if you think about it, when I told you was like, oh, it's going to be next year, right? I'm
Everybody
like, nah,
said
it's
the same
next
thing.
month.
I was like, he was like, August? I'm like, August with next year, right? He's like, nah, next month. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, success loves speed. So it's like, we've
You
done
gotta
everything.
break that down later. Success loves speed.
We've done everything, just off the muscle so far, and we've learned as we go. So why not this? We don't have any major sponsors. Hopefully we can get some, but if not, we prepared to put all our money out of our pocket.
Right.
We're not doing no donations, no fundraisers. Shout out to anybody that does that, but we're not a nonprofit organization. We're a for-profit organization, and we never apologize for making money. Any business, you might put money in, and it might work, it might not work, but we're willing to put up a lot of money for our own money just to make it happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, nobody else is doing it, so why don't we do it? And like I said, just people got to look at that as well. Like, this is a business. These events, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money and a lot of resources and a lot of time, and it's not easy. So, people just have to have a full appreciation of all of this stuff where it's like business is more than just going in and just looking and just making it look pretty. Like, nah, this is a lot of hard work. It's trial and error. You learn, you make mistakes, but you grow, and that's the only way to really be successful is if you have no fear.
And to your point, Envy, I got to shout out our event planner. Shout out to Ashley out in Atlanta. Black woman, has her own business, and is doing exactly what you're saying. We need to find people that look like us, that come from where we come from, actually doing these jobs. So she is amazing with that. That's the first thing she looks at. How can we employ our people? So
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Ashley.
Shout out to Ashley. What's the name of her business? 'Cause I use a Dasha, and I had to get Dasha's from New York. She had to come out to Atlanta to do it because I wanted somebody that I can trust.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you the info. I'm
Okay, yeah, shout out her
So now you about to cut off a Dasha?
I always use a Dasha, but,
Okay,
but
okay.
for somebody in Atlanta that needs the business, I'd rather put it out there so people know who to go to. Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Dasha events
She's dope.
in
She's
New
dope.
York or whoever. Like I like to shout people out that do good business for that reason
And
right there.
your team is no joke, man. We showed up like 2:00.
Oh, we was in there at 3
3
o'clock
in the morning, still trying to figure things
rearranging.
out.
Envy was looking at us like,
Yo, what they
we was
doing?
rearranging the whole thing. Like he was like, I'm like, nah, don't worry.
We got you.
We got you.
you.
We got you. We're gonna make it.
was
We're gonna make
dope.
it
So
rock.
where can people buy tickets for the event if they want to support and come on out and all that other stuff?
Investfest.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the Instagram handle is Invest Festival. So that's
And
all
we
information.
need to talk more as entrepreneurs to help each other out, because there was a lot of things that I missed out on and I didn't know that I'm sure that y'all got to miss out on and that y'all don't know that we need to talk about. Like for instance, I do the Coachella show, and there's a white guy that does a show, and his show is pretty big, and he was like, hey, if you call this hotel, they'll give you a block of rooms, they'll give you the whole hotel. And I'm like, I didn't do that. He was like, yeah, you need to do that. And I'm like, these are things that we should know that we don't, because we're figuring it out as we go
Exactly.
along. And you guys like me, we're like, fuck, we just gonna get this shit. But like, I just think, especially people that do this, we need to talk more for that. And I think that's why Invest Fest is even better, because that's going to be.
We first generation. Everything that we're doing, we first generation. So people looking at it like, Earn Your Leash is a podcast. No, it's a media company. And it's like, all right, it's not really easy to start a media company. Like, just think about it. How many media companies have reached the level of success that we reached in 2 years? Where
Independently.
Independently.
Right.
With no blueprint, with getting funded out of our own pocket.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. Like, we got to have more of an appreciation for it, and we got to work with each other to share the information, because it's like our learning curve will be dramatically shortened if we know these things.
Right.
So it's like, even for us, we still learn so much. Like you said, the blocker rooms at the hotels and all that stuff.
We just had a conversation
Even
about
how
that.
to approach corporate sponsors and how
That's
to put
another tough one.
Yeah, how to put together a deck, because it's like you see sponsors give all of these events millions of dollars, and it's like we trying to fund it ourselves, but why can't we get the millions of dollars? Like, I mean, it's relationships and it's knowing how to who to talk to and how to put together your deck and all of these things. So these are things that we still are learning to this day.
Even coming together with a committee, right? That's something that I'm like, oh wait, we should definitely have a committee, right? Because instead of us actually approaching corporate sponsors, we can have a board of people that are doing that, dedicated to that. And so, like we said, we're going to make it a yearly thing. Now the committee can spend the entire year focusing just on InvestFest, so we can, like we said, there's multiple businesses that we're doing. We're going to focus on these things, but we know the annual pilgrimage is going to be InvestFest.
And once y'all launch the first one and it's super successful, every sponsor in America going to be lining up for next year.
They coming. Yeah.
The funny thing is the same thing. I had to hire somebody just to do that. But people say, yo, Envy, how'd you get so many sponsors? Was it the radio? You know what I did? I used the same message, and I DM'd 100 companies. From Turtle Wax to Shea Moisture to Monster Energy to Ford. And out of the 100 that I sent, 10 came back. And those were the 10 that sponsored the event.
Yeah.
It was just me asking, because I, like you said, I did not know first time doing it. I couldn't figure it out, and that was the way to do
You
it.
sent it from your
My
DM?
personal shit, yeah. Personal
that
shit.
was
And
dope.
that's how it came back. So I'll tell y'all to do the same thing. 100 companies,
That's game right there.
Somebody will listen that's a fan, that loves it, what y'all doing, be like, you know what, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's how I came with Monster and Shea Moisture.
I feel like most people have had your reaction. Like, oh, okay, so when are we thinking? Like third quarter next year? We're like, nah, like 60 days. They're like, oh. I'm like, well, we'll start working on next year's sponsorships. I'm like, all right, well, we're going to get this thing going anyway.
Well, that's only because the way corporations move, their budgets are already allocated for certain quarters. Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Man, y'all like the positive version of Sincere and Buns from Belly, man. I'm serious. Y'all even got the two young boys working for y'all now. You know what I'm saying?
It's the Cartiers, man.
I saw y'all in Jamaica recently,
Yo,
too.
shout
That
out to
was
Jamaica,
incredible.
man. That was incredible, bro.
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
everybody goes to Jamaica and goes to Montego Bay and Ocho Rios and all of that, but we went to Kingston, and to be there for 3 days, to tap in with Baby Shams, to tap in with Usain Bolt and Bounty Killer.
That's dope.
Ridiculous.
Like, what's the odds of that happening? And like,
Who'd y'all go out there for? I know y'all went out there to
oh, shout out to Black Effect.
Yeah, shout out to Black Effect. Shout out to Nicole.
Nicole, salute to
Shout out to
Nicole. Nicole
Zanova.
Spence. Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole's
they
Italian.
set that up. They set it up for us to interview Usain
Usain.
Bolt.
Okay.
And
And Sham.
Sham.
Yeah.
So Sham took us to the neighborhood. Crescent.
Sherlock Crescent.
Sherlock Crescent.
Yeah, Kingston.
The song Ghetto Story.
Yeah.
That's the neighborhood.
Yeah, that video was shot right in front of his
The
house.
video on Alicia Keys that was shot.
Yeah.
So he
Wow.
took
His mom still lives there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going places that you can't go. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a real,
Wow.
like, he took us through there. But beautiful people embrace love. So we went there. Then we went to Usain's restaurant. And then
Dope restaurant too.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. Tracks and records,
You
y'all.
ever been to this place called Screechy's?
I don't think
It's
so.
on the beach.
Only been to
Yes.
Jamaica a couple
You been to
times.
Screechy's?
Yeah.
It's been a
Hellshire.
Screechy's a vibe.
Hellshire.
Best seafood I ever had in my
They
life.
bring the fish out and
Yeah.
everything.
What's
They
the
took me
lobster?
there, Beanie Man took me there one time when I was in
Okay.
Oh, you with the
yeah,
right people.
yeah.
yeah.
So that's all in Kingston?
No,
That-
that's
that's
like it's in
another
Hellshire
parish.
Beach, like an hour
You gotta
outside
drive
of
out.
Kingston.
Okay.
There's no
Yeah.
beaches in Kingston because we had to.
Yeah.
We had to drive out to go
Yeah.
there. 'cause
So then
there's
we meet Bounty Killer. Shout out to Safari.
Safari put
And
that there.
shout
And
out
Alex.
to Alex
yeah,
Good
yeah, shout out to
Energy.
him.
They linked that together for us.
Safari?
Safari, yeah.
Yeah.
SB Safari.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
Okay.
he linked with Alex from
Our
watching
podcast.
our podcast, and he wanted to get in trucking, so he connected with Alex. They formed a relationship. He saw that Alex was in Jamaica. He knew that he had a relationship with Bounty Killer. He's like, "Yo, you think we can do it?" We're sitting in the van, like coming off this high, like we just met Usain Bolt. This is crazy.
Wow.
He's like, "Yo, Bounty Killer tomorrow at 1." We're like, "What?"
Wow.
Like, yeah, now we gotta do this.
And Bounty Killer, that's like Jay-Z for that culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody
Yo, you
bigger.
gotta say our culture because you like honorary Jamaican. now.
Honorary.
I'm
Yeah.
Jamaican, and he always with me. So now he honorary.
Oh, so you and Nicole clicked immediately then?
Oh yeah, we call. She's like my cousin now.
Yeah,
She-
yeah. Nicole
Yo,
Jamaican.
Nicole
Yeah.
texted me last night. She was like, "What's your dad's first name?" I'm gonna ask my dad if he knows. I'm like, "Nicole, it's a whole country." She's like, "No, we could be cousins." I'm like, yeah, Nicole, yeah, we
Yeah.
cousins. That's my girl.
But yeah, but that's all part of so the next stage, what we want to do, edutainment. And that's a blend of entertainment and education.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Jimmy. We was in his spot in the Bronx, and we had an event, 1,100 people. Jimmy been around forever.
That's
Everybody
Jimmy's
knows Jimmy.
Cafe. The owner of
Yeah.
Jimmy's Cafe.
Yeah.
You hit Jimmy, they think it's Jim Jones.
Oh, no,
But
not
Jimmy's
Cafe,
Cafe.
Jimmy's
We heard
Cafe.
Stephen Jackson talking about it. Like he was
Yeah.
there every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that.
So
he's in
Jimmy
it.
been around forever. He was blown away. He was like, he couldn't understand it because we're not rappers, and it's like to see that many people, it just shocked his mind. So EYL night is something that we want to duplicate and do that in every city in America and then overseas, where it's like every element that we grew up really idolizing, we still love that. So we can't get away from it, but we
Alright.
want to do
Yeah.
it productive. So a networking party.
Right.
So we're going to have the hookah, we're going to have the ladies, we're going to have the fellas, we're going to have the, but instead of just, just doing ignorant nonsense, we're going to do it in a productive manner.
Yeah.
So you come out, you meet people, peaceful, exchange business cards, exchange ideas. You can have drinks, food, whatever, and do it where it's like, all right, this is actually a new way to actually party.
Yeah.
That was a huge success. And like I said, that's something that we want to kind of duplicate. And going to Jamaica was the first overseas trip for us.
Yeah.
So that's something that we want to do in Toronto, in London, in Africa, and really, reshape the way that people look at financial literacy and business
Yeah.
and put our spin on it as far as the culture. Like we really stamping it, and we're not compromising who we are. We're staying true to
Absolutely.
our identity, but we just, embracing it in a little different manner.
Yeah, I told everybody when I get the chance to, it's like we watch sports, we watch entertainment, and so I always compare it to like when Muhammad Ali had the Rumble in Jungle, or when he had the Thriller in Manila. These weren't just boxing matches. This was to say I'm the world champion. And so when we do international tours about financial literacy, now we champion this for the world, right? So we become the champions of this, but our culture becomes the champion because they're gonna get the knowledge from it. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got to tell me some jewels that y'all got from Jamaica. I need to know what the entrepreneurial spirit is like out there.
Jamaica, you know what? Jamaica is a very interesting place.
Yeah.
Because we got to see all sides of Jamaica, and unfortunately it's a lot of poverty. And talking to Usain, talking to Shams, talking to Bounty Killer, and they was they had a lot of issues with how things were being run, government and stuff like that, and they just felt like it should be a little bit more opportunities and more stuff for young people. And they gave us a whole detail of the CIA, how they came in during the 70s, and really that was when they was fearing that they was going to become a communist country, and kind of led to a lot of the violence. And they was where all this violence, where all the guns come from? It just didn't come out of nowhere. And Shams was telling us, and
Usain.
Bounty Killer as well,
Yeah.
a lot of the political rifts, even when Bob Marley got shot, a lot of that was done from outside operatives that feared the music because they demonized the music a lot out there. But he was the music is just a reflection of what's going on in the street. It's not vice versa. We're not influencing the street. The streets are influencing the music. But Jamaica was really dope to see because there's so much vibrant spirit. The people are so pure, and the people are so welcoming. And they was just so receptive to us. A lot of people knew who we were.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, Market Monday, shout out to Ian. They're like, Market Mondays changed my life. I watch stocks, or I watch this on Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
And just the spirit of being outside of the country was really dope.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff that we take for granted in America, you have a better appreciation for when you're in a different environment.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of the biggest takeaways that I got, was like, every little thing they really, really are appreciative of, because they don't have the same opportunities that we have. People come to America because there's opportunities. And we take that for granted a lot of times.
That's exactly why my parents came. It was like opportunity. And the crazy thing is, I went back. I've been to Jamaica a few times, but I've never been back to my parents' neighborhood, because they was like, you can't go there, don't go there, it's too dangerous there. So for the first time, I was like, I gotta go. We're in Kingston. This has been an incredible trip. I have to go see. And I went through the neighborhood, and I was just like, oh, I get it, because we had a conversation.
Like, mom and dad was right. Let me leave.
Yeah. No
here.
joke. I was like, he was like, yo, some people don't want to come back because of what they left. And when I saw it for firsthand, I was like, oh, I get it. It felt like I was in like a third world country for real, like a war zone. Like when they like trench town, mine, stop, lifeline, block off traffic. Like that's what the roads looked like. And it was military presence. And we had to get escorted out, because police had to escort us out, because they were like, yo, you guys from here? Like, y'all lost? Let me get you out of here now before this gets crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that real. And so it was like, oh, I get it. Like they left because of the opportunity, and they never want to go back to see it. But I wanted to go and show people, like, this is where my parents came from. I'm first generation. Like, yo, look how far we can go. 'Cause even Usain was telling us, he was like, look, COVID affected our kids in a different way. Like in my community in Trelawney, we don't even have internet. I'm like, it's 2020. You don't have internet? And he's like, yeah, I just bought printers for the community so we could print out stuff from where I'm at to bring it to the schools. I'm just like, this is crazy. And one of the things that we met a gentleman, he actually was a bounty killer. He was like, look, I saw y'all on the Breakfast Club. He's like, that's the first time I saw y'all.
That's
he
a
was
fact.
like, I've never seen black men talk like that.
That's a fact.
I never saw it before.
That's a fact. He was with Bounty Killer's entourage.
Yeah.
And, Bounty Killer, he's Bounty Killer. He's a street dude. So he had a lot of street guys around him. And then one of them, he's like, yo, I recognized y'all. Y'all not just a regular interview.
Yeah, this ain't a regular
interview. I
interview.
watched the Breakfast Club interview, and he was like, something about like, he's like, when American black people speak, it's just different. He was like, that Breakfast Club interview really changed a lot of things for me. So that was dope. To bring it full circle.
Yeah, because we were just sitting there like, all right, we good. And he's like, yo, I've never heard black men talk like that. Y'all a real deal. Keep going. We watching y'all. And I need a few stock tips when y'all leave.
That's crazy though, because I mean, it's a lot of rural, towns in America that don't have internet. You know what I mean? Like when I'm from South Carolina, I had to provide Wi-Fi for some areas down there last year. So it's like, the things we take for granted even here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Invest. Why did I get invited to Invest Fest?
You did get
No, you
invited
did.
like 18 times.
Who invited me?
Oh, Matt said
the
he took
mortgage
care
guy
of it.
say he's been texting you every day.
Nah, I mean, I can't do the Saturday, but I can do a Friday or Sunday.
That's
I mean,
done.
All right,
That's done.
mean, so you had live on the Breakfast Club.
That's easy.
Now y'all niggas support me, so I gotta
Add it.
support y'all.
Nah, I want to support too, but it's,
And you was invited also.
I know, but no. Actually, it's just, I didn't know they were Afrotech is that weekend.
Oh.
I didn't know. I'm
Shout out
speaking
to
of
them.
Afrotech.
Shout
I
out to
didn't.
Afrotech.
Yeah. So I mean, but you can't. That's beautiful. You got this in Atlanta on the
Yeah.
East Coast, Afrotech on the West Coast. It's like those are the kind of things black people need to be doing to empower each other and educate each other.
Yeah, and shout out to Angela too. She
out
I
to
think it's
Angela
Angela Yee Day that weekend too. So
It
we're
is?
like-
It is Ye-Day.
yeah.
Oh
She'll be back.
wow.
So I was like, all right, no
Nah,
problem.
we'll
That's how
definitely
people-
come out. I'll figure out what time and everything, but yeah, I'll definitely be out there. Y'all send a private jet for me, right?
Absolutely.
We're sending out a couple.
Absolutely.
You know what else I love about y'all though? Because I saw how y'all said that originality and consistency is like two of the biggest keys to y'all's success. How important is that? Because there's nobody doing what y'all doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most important thing, honestly. And that's something that, we are just true to who we are. And it's like, we're just regular everyday people that had an idea to do something. And we started in his dining room table with 3 iPhones. And look where we are now. So
Wow.
it's more of an inspirational story than anything, because it's like, if we can do it, literally anybody can do it. Because it's like we had no idea what we were doing, no blueprint, no mentors or anything.
Right.
And we just thought, okay, this would be a cool idea to just start a podcast. And then from there, I mean, it's much, much bigger than a podcast now.
Mhm.
So, and that's just who we are. Like, it's like, this is just who we are as people. That's why I think the people that we actually get to interview, like, they actually become friends with us, because it's like, they realize like, oh, no, they actually just cool, just genuine people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just who we are. So I would suggest anybody just stay true to who you are, because it's a lot harder to try to pretend to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah, yeah. We live by that, man. It was like you can be anybody in the world, even yourself. Like, this is us every day, all day. And so, like, people think that it's just easy to do it, but I'm like, nah, man. We've had relationship for 25 plus years. Right? It's just that the world is now getting to hear it. And so, like, when they try to duplicate what we're doing, it's like, well, they can't figure out why it's not working. I'm like, there's a bond here. There's a brotherhood here, right? Our families are here. So it's like authenticity is what we're built on, and consistency is what we're built on. So if people are willing to have authentic relationships with their friends, like, people don't even have friends. Like, we've been friends since high school. And even, everybody around us is from high school.
Our other partner, Mike, shout out to Mike in Atlanta. He's another one of our friends. We grew up together. Yeah. His brothers are employed. My sister, another one of our friends. Like, it's literally like all of our friends and family.
Exactly.
Are Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah, you see how we move, Evie?
And y'all got purpose. That's the biggest thing. Y'all found y'all purpose.
That's right.
That's it.
Your purpose is educating our people on financial literacy.
Yeah, they ask me all the time. They're like, "Yo, did you stop teaching?" I'm like, "Yeah, in a school district. Now I just get to educate the world. It's a totally different feeling. Right? There's no ceiling to this."
Well, give them the information again. InvestFest. How can they get tickets and all that?
Yes, investfest.com. You can get tickets. We have VIP tickets, and then we have general admission tickets. And once again, some of the notable people that will be there: Hill Harper, Jim Jones, Fabulous, John Henry, Ian Dunlap, Wall Street Trapper, just added DJ Envy.
Breaking news alert.
Hold on, before y'all leave. Oh, I'm sorry, you said Neo?
Yeah, now what you about to say?
No, before y'all leave, y'all got to give up some crypto tips. And any new stocks on the rise, let us know.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you say crypto, because I'm long crypto. I've been holding crypto since 2017, through the ups and downs, through the good times and the bad times. You invest in crypto? Mm-hmm. Okay. So for me, my top cryptos: Ethereum, Bitcoin, of course, but then I also have XRP. XRP is a little controversy because, it was under investigation by the SEC. So everybody's not a big fan of XRP, but I still believe in XRP. Cardano's another one that I've been holding for a long time. Stellar's backed by IBM. So whenever you see like these major corporations, that's always a good sign. Stock, I know you got a few stock tips.
Yeah, so I'm big on Disney right now. I just love what they're doing as far as the streaming services, and the fact that their parks were down and the stock still rose. I love Disney, love Apple, and my stock of the year, I said it in Market Mondays in December, is Microsoft. What they're about to do coming into the cloud service game, and competing with Amazon. I love Amazon as well, but Microsoft is one of those. Just hold on to it. Hold on to Microsoft. Hold Apple, Disney. I love.
I made a lot of money on SMH.
Yeah,
SMH,
ETFs. We talked about that before.
That's chips, like the computer chips.
Yeah.
Like NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. What we got? AMD.
AMD is another one. That's
Qualcomm.
AMD's kind of been moving sideways for like 6 months, but I believe in AMD. AMD is another chip company. Yeah. Because you gotta look at like computers not going anywhere. Technology's not going anywhere. So now it's like, what's the inner workings of security? So even like cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Like
CrowdStrike is another one.
Cybersecurity is big, and that's only going to get bigger and bigger. So like, what kind of are the companies that actually facilitate the cybersecurity?
TSM is another one. So everything in here right now is moving off of microchips. Right now, semiconductors, everything from the microphones to your computer to that camera, everything, the board. And so right now there's a shortage. But
there's a shortage of chips,
at a certain point, maybe 6 months down the line, they're gonna reverse this.
That's why cars are so expensive right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a shortage in the chips in cars too, right?
Yeah. We just saw that. We just saw that with even Apple with the iPhone. Like, they combated. They did their earnings report, and they found out a way to combat the chip shortage to produce more phones. They had a 50% increase in iPhone sales. But like, now, let's see what happens the next quarter, right? Because they combated for one quarter. Can they do it for the next one? But cars, same thing. All the technology in there is off semiconductors, so they're going to be able to produce less cars because they don't have the semiconductors.
All right. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Earn Your Leisure podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. You're guaranteed to learn something.
Shout out to Black Effect too, man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Y'all doing a great job over there. Y'all putting together a tremendous lineup, and it's very encouraging to see you grow in the business world.
Are my partners happy? That's all I need to know.
Yeah, we good, man. Yeah, we have our bi-weekly calls. The team is good.
Okay.
Everybody good.
Shout out to the InvestFest stuff.
I would have been there. I would have been there if it wasn't for Afrotech.
You gonna be Afrotech Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I'm there on Saturday.
You fly private, you get there and back.
I do not fly no private. Don't even
the
lie
pressure
on
on
me
them,
like that. I don't fly no private unless somebody paying for it.
I'm the same way.
Now, I'm not doing that. I don't want that expense.
I seen you fly private.
I ain't pay for it.
Okay.
Now, Evan, you told us the next interview is going to be on the jet, so we still got that timestamp. So
That is
we
a
waiting.
fact.
All right. So y'all paying for that. Let's write it off before we on Charles Black Effect. All right. It's Earn Your Leisure. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.